it do, baby? Hello, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. I am here with Brandon Corpuz, a fellow Florida boy. Aggro. You know, if you're playing in Florida, you're gonna be aggro. You're playing black. You're playing aggro. How you doing, Brandon? Say hello to everybody.
Well, doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm so happy for you, bro. A fellow Vegeta Saiyan Army fella. Topping. You get first place, bro. Congratulations. You did really well.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, bro. So I just want to see your deck here. So first of all, a couple of things. You have the three Demigras. You have the revived Ravager Vegeta, and you have the Secret Identity and the SS4 Bardock. Are you keeping these ratios away, like as far as overwhelm goes?
Yeah, these ratios were amazing. Demigra is just always great against, slower decks, board wipes for Secret Identity. Bardock normally just going in for those double strike or game. Revive Ravager was just honestly the MVP. I wish more people would actually play this in the deck. Instead of milling 10 like the old days, you just mill 8. So, which is really great, and you hit all your targets.
Yeah, I like that it sets up also like the turn 2 overwhelm. Like, I love Revive Ravager. I feel like the deck space is getting tight because so many good cards are coming out, especially next set. But like that turn 1 Revive Ravager, I feel like it's like the best overwhelm, and you're always gonna have it. Like if you hit 2 targets and you have the Revive Ravager, like you have like just enough to play them. So I feel like, especially with Champas, would you go up on Champa? Because I see you have it at 2. That's probably the lowest of. Oh wait, no, you have hidden power. You have
Yeah,
power.
so I play the 2 Champas and I play the 2 Hidden Supreme Kais. I like the 2-2 split. It kind of throws my opponents off whenever they see the Champa, milled 1 Champa and milled 1 Kai. They don't know how many I'm playing as far as ratios before top cut. So that always helps out, but 4 was just perfect.
So as far as usually Vegeks decks are pretty much the same. Like the Time Agents, the Unison, the Kais. If somebody's building this deck for a main event, if somebody's watching right now, and there's something they want to take away from this, what would you say is something that you're sticking with as far as like you're sticking with your guns? Revive Ravager for 1. Maybe I see a lot of people going down to 2 Dark Power Black Messiah. Are there any matchups that you're afraid of? Anything that you definitely want to keep in your deck at this ratio that you see people not using as much?
As far as like changes wise, I really wish I did play the 4 Black Messiah, but I really don't know what I would have taken out. The list is at 54, which just as far as like numbers and everything, it was just like the perfect mill for me. I never really whiffed. I would hit the top 5 and then whiff. I played the Revive Ravager, and the first 3 targets were all millable targets. So that always worked out right. Revive Ravager is just a staple. The Secret Identity has to be a staple. You don't really need the Bardock. The Bardock's more of just a niche kind of card. It's not good in certain matchups. Demigra is more of kind of a staple for those slower matchups. You can't get through Dormant if you're not playing this. But besides that, the deck is more or less the same. If anything, I would want to side deck that 4th Dark Power Black Messiah.
Yeah, so talk about your matchups, because I know you played against King Piccolo, which that card kind of ruins. I know you played against, you said Invoker, so you wanted to go aggressive. Talk about how you did in Swiss as well as Top Gun.
So it was a 6-round event. Round 1, I played against Mecha Frieza. We ended up drawing, unfortunately. We played it out, and I would have won. It's just there was a weird ruling and whatnot that ended up happening, and we kind of just went into time. Then round 2, I played against Launch Blue Red. He was playing the Catastrophic Blow engine with the cooler and all that. I just kept Koitsukai-ing him, and he really couldn't do anything. He can't arrival really that well on his turn, so that game was just kind of a wash. Then round 3, I think it was I played Justin Rios. He was playing King Piccolo, and we went into time, and the game was really close. I got him game 1. Game 2 was very close. He eventually got me, and game 3 we really just didn't have enough time, so we ended up drawing again. And then I played, I couldn't remember what round 4 was. I knew I beat that player. But I played round 5 with Turles. I couldn't run through his dormants. He just kept dormant me every single turn. And he just never really went in for like a kill turn. So we kind of just drew. I was having a really bad day just from there. And then round 6, I played against Yellow Baby. I beat Yellow Baby.
Yellow Baby?
Um, it- yeah, Yellow Baby, the aggro one with yellow red, all that baby
Oh, the
stuff.
same one?
Uh, mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that he top 16'd
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
on the last webcam event. And then for top 16, I ended up going so I went 3-3, 303, ended up topping got 12th place. And first round I ended up playing Justin Rio, so I got to get my revenge kind of thing and we played in game 3, went to game 3 and eventually just got him. Then I played in top 8. That was on stream. I played Travis Washburn playing Bulma. That game was really close. That deck is really hard to play against just because there's so many negates and so many blockers. But I just kept ripping Secret Identity and just clearing his board. Played in top 4. Played against Daehan, playing in Volker. We both knew going into that matchup that it was just kind of Vegeks just kind of wins that. And Koitsukai was just honestly the MVP of the whole day. I really wish I would have side decked more. I only side decked the one. And then my top 2 played against Matt Coombs, and he was playing Mecha Frieza, and I just knew that matchup going in there, so I didn't run into any pesky kind of things with getting Zamasu blown out or Flying Nimbus blown out. So that was that.
Yeah, and so going to the sideboard and then talking about your how you prepare for the game. So if you're playing Vegeks and you're playing against, for example, King Piccolo, right? You're looking for the Dark Power Black Missing. Like that's the mulligan, right?
Yeah, so I normally hard mulligan for that. Secret Identity is really good because you really got to get that one drop off of the board. And then if they have anything else on the board that helps out. Um, but as far as like side deck, it was another side in the third Koitsukai. I really wish I side decked the fourth one because the card was just MVP. Super Kamehameha would come in a lot of the time in most of my matchups whenever people were topoing me. Or I played against Mecha Frieza and they were playing that new Frieza negate, the TP. This card was just MVP. I never really sided in the Heavenly Wizard Demigra because I never really played against Shinshin on aggro. I would just, kill their 8-drop, and if they can't go up the chain, they kind of lose. And then I side decked one Brainwash. The premise behind that was if I draw it, I draw it. If I mill it, my opponent thinks that I'm playing multiple copies of this card, so they can never efficiently dump on a triple strike or a quad strike, or they would just get blown out by a single card. I never played against Dark Broly for the Bardock Fully Unleashed, warping all their 6-drops, so that never came in. The Sun Gohan, in theory, it sounded good against Invoker, but this should have just been the fourth Kotsukai. The card really just doesn't do enough, and people can easily play around this card. It's good against Blue Baby, but I never played against that matchup. Protector of People was a really MVP card that helped me win against Yellow Baby. It was if he goes wide, he kind of just loses. If he goes tall, I sided my Heroine SCR. The whole point of me siding in my Heroine SCR, it sounds like a weird thing. I was conflicted on playing the Heroine SCR over the Kai SCR, and I went with the Heroine SCR just because of the luck sack of, taking someone's card. But if I never mill it in game 1, and I've milled about 20, 25 cards, you never see my secret rare, so you assume that it might be in my hand. So you're always playing around it, and I'm actually side decking it. In Top Cut, my opponents, they get to see my deck lists, so they know I'm side decking it, so they can play around it very easily. But to get there and everything, nobody knew what secret rare I was actually playing until I side decked it in, so that helped out a lot.
It's funny. I also play one Brainwashed, but it's only because I only own one, not because of any tactical reasons. I have a question. Why no Meki Kabora?
Mickey Kabor was up there. It's just it's one of those cards where it's there was only specific things where I would want to call, but Super Kamehameha kind of got the job done because I want to try to kill my opponents on turn 2 or turn 3 the latest. If the game was just going on for longer than there, most of the time their deck was mid-range and Koitsukai hurt them, so they were just going to lose the game off of just Koitsukai. There was no real cards that I specifically wanted to call, unless calling Topo, where my opponent just can't play it, but I just had the Super Kamehameha for everything that, was stopping me from killing you turn 2. and Koitsukai would just win me the mid-range late games matchups.
That actually makes sense. That makes sense. So again, we have the hard mole for Piccolo is Arc Power. For green, you said Demigra, which is like I think $200 a place. You have it at 3, thankfully, but
Yeah.
and then Koitsukai, I feel like Koitsukai, you're just hard molding that for most matchups anyway. You said it's like your MVP, right?
Most of the time I milled it, so I never really like kept it in hand. Opening hand was just normally keep like 3 decent cards, like a Power Burst or an Extinction, or the one of the Champas, or a specific Overwhelm, or just the one drops. Or obviously I would keep super combos because more super combos you see in a matchup, you're just going to win. But I normally would keep about 3 good cards in my hand and just throw the rest back, and just bank on trying to draw my revived Ravager. If I drew the revived Ravager and I lost the dice roll, which I mostly lost the dice roll all day, so like it really didn't matter me going second because I can swing turn one and overwhelm turn one, so that was really great. So
Yeah, I feel like I love Revive Ravager. I try everything because I like trying every version of a deck, whether it's control, aggro, all of the overwhelms for it, all the super combos for it. But I think you're right. I think the Vegeta super combo is the best one. I think Revive Ravager is the right choice for turn one, and I think this is the closest to what my final deck would be without counting like set 13, because set 13 is going to change the deck I think drastically. What would you? Last question though. What do you feel about the size of your deck? I know a lot of people are like very strict about keeping it 50. And would you go like I would cut honestly on this deck? I don't know what my problem is with Majin Buu's extinction attack. It's the energy thing. Like I'm usually playing the one drops or Koitsukai or Further Instruction Champa. Do you like it at 4? How important do you think the card is?
this card's honestly MVP. You have to take into account where if you do play against Dark Broly and you are going into the late game, this is kind of one of those cards where if you play it multiple times against them, it makes them have to use certain cards to play their Dark Brolys. And just the combo power behind it, the card is just insane. You get your opponent down to that 2 life range, and you have Majin Buu Extinction. You know you can just dump on a battle card or the leader swing, and just outright blow them from there. And then it's just the sack factor of just going from your opponent's always going to swing 25 at your leader, and you just 1 mana combo out and then hit like a Kai or the Trunks, or even just get your Unison or that Vegeta. It just helps you get there. Being at 54 cards was... I really wish I could play the 50 cards, but having those extra 4 cards allows you to overwhelm on turn 1, it allows you to overwhelm on turn 2 and turn 3. And then from there you kind of have to reset the deck. And then you can overwhelm, which Revived Ravager is probably the perfect card because you normally will reset the deck, mill 2 cards, mill another 3, and then just play Revived Ravager, and you just got the perfect mill. But yeah, no, I really couldn't cut Majin Buu Extinction. The card is just, it's just too clutch.
Yeah, I like the balance of, yeah, you're not running 60, it's not that sacky, but you're running a little bit more to kind of give you another chance to have that extra overwhelm. And I agree, like with Revive Ravager Vegeta and Majin Buu, those are 8 cards that are helping you kind of mill through the deck a little more. So that's true, that's a good point. I mean, I know that I know Jermaine, the Black Saiyan play, that's a staple in that deck, because he's only milling 3. But, I mean, if you're milling 5, you're milling 8, you know, like the more the better, you know, get greedy. You know what I mean? So it makes sense for you to run it at 54. I'm gonna try your build. Every time somebody does well with Vegeks, I try their build, see what I like about it. But I have tested most of your cards, and I agree. Like I don't run Vegeks without 3 Super Saiyan 4 Bardoks or Secret Identity. Like that's a staple for me. Like even going into next set, like I'm gonna keep them somehow. Even though we have like now like what 14 overall cards to play, dude. Like. So yeah, do you have any closing thoughts? Any shout outs you want to give? Anything at all?
Any changes I would have made, far as like the side deck, there was a few cards that just weren't, it shouldn't have been in there, but you know, it's more of matchup dependent. Shout outs, I obviously have to shout out Base God. He's always MVP. And shout out to Gamers for hosting a great event. Shout out to all the Florida boys, and then shout out to my brother, Cheeks. And that's about it. Thank you.
Are you gonna be at the Set 13 event?
Yes, I will. I'll probably most likely be at every single event. Yeah.
Hell yeah! All right, so I'll definitely see you there. You're probably getting Saint of the Week, so congrats on that. The bigger accomplishment of the week for you, dude. But thank you for coming, dude. And
Thank you.
congrats again, dude.
Thank you.